Here we are. We live in living color. This ain't no Memorex you did. What's happening, y'all? This is Kato. Want to welcome everybody into the virtual version of the one-on-one sessions. Today is, what is it, Saturday, March the 9th. And as usual, I like to bring in artists, writers, musicians, and everyone else who create platforms for the purpose of showing and expressing their whatever it is they have to create, to share with the world and all that kind of stuff. And today is the show is going to be no different than any other show that we do. So I want to take the time out to welcome. Got a brother here, a session. Let me just say, got a brother here that's been making his noise or building his tracks and leading his way within the DC culture, music culture for many years. For many years. And I'm talking about when it comes to music or just when it comes to entertainment in general. He is no stranger to this DC music culture. And as a matter of fact, he brought something in. One thing about that I always, let me just say, one thing I always like about this DC culture is that DC culture has basically raised up leaders. And what I mean by leaders is people who create platforms and begin paths. And I always love that about that. When we have people like Duke Ellington and Marvin Gaye and Roberta Flack and Donald Leeson. I mean, the list goes on and on and on when it comes to the music culture. Chuck Brown on down to Polo. And here's a brother right here who created a whole lane of his own. And his name is Ras Lidj. So bro, Ross in here. And Ross, we're just going to go into history. I'm curious, and I've known him for years, but I'm curious as to how his path started to where it is. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the big brother, Ras Lidj. What's up, Ross?
What's good, everybody? Hello, what's going on? What's up,
right.
BV? Piedmont Massive and Crew.
he knows what to do. Ross is no stranger to this platform, and we're gonna have him here talking to us. He's gonna tell us a little story. And the story is gonna be about Ross. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
First of all, before we go into it, I want to make an announcement because Ross does have a couple of new, what can I say? A couple of new Jones coming out. One gives the title of Night Nurse. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's the Gregory Isaacs.
Say again?
That's the tribute to the reggae legend Gregory Isaacs, Night Nurse.
Okay. Night Nurse, and the one Rastafari Way. That's exactly. The other one, right?
Yep.
Okay. And they'll be coming out soon. We're gonna get into talking to those, but we're gonna get into the whole Ras Lidj scene because a lot of people may see you, but they don't know the roads that you travel. They don't know the stages you've been on, and they don't know the people that you've rubbed elbows with and I guess absorbed energy from. Or traded energies with. I don't want to say absorbed energy from, but basically trade energies with. So basically, first of all, I got to ask you, tell me, what is this thing that you do? It's called REGGGO music. It is different. Can you please explain that to the folks? What is REGGGO music?
REGGGO is defined as the contemporary ancient fusion of root dancehall reggae music linked with a strong DC pocket go-go beat.
Okay.
That's the definition. Now, I guess your next question is probably going to be, how did it come about, or how did I think of it?
How did you come about? First of all, the fact that you mixing it with the go-go beat. I mean, usually, you know, you got people who are very protective in this area, whatever, right? So, what are your roots in both areas? Like do you have roots in go-go, or is it just something you just wanted to do and you stumbled?
A lot of roots in go-go, and a lot of roots, family heritage in the Caribbean, and personally, like, as far as myself, just my way of life changed drastically. I'd say early 90s, when I took on fully the Rastafarian way of life. You know, I didn't want people to think that, you know, I was just doing it for a style or a show. You know, I put on my knots in 1992. And with that, like, you have some people who study Islam or different faiths or beliefs in life. And so that's funny you asked this, because, well, that's another story I know we can get into, but you helping me.
Get it all.
On the way to Jamaica to record right now. So that's kind of funny you asked me this question. So let me explain it like this. Like, my roots in go-go started very early. I was young. I grew up around the best of them, man, from Lil Benny and the Masters. I can tell you about Ray Essence before Ray Essence probably started, or when we were all learning music up at the Baptist Center, you know, right up above Linda Poland. And at that time, Lil Benny and my brother Sean, they was the same age. God rest both of their souls. They were at Washington Highland at that time, and a lot of us was learning music from Mr. Harrington in the Baptist Center. Right. So that's where my early roots in go-go come up at. I started and I want to say this to people about paying dues, because, man, you know, to get in the band or whatever, I remember the days when I used to wait at the back door at Cherry's for Radar or anybody to show up and help them load equipment in the go-go, just so I can get in the go-go free and stand there and look and watch what Sugar Bear, what Funk was doing, you know, really observe the thing. And, you know, moving forward, you know, all of us had little junkyard bands, but there was the junkyard band. And then when I got...
What do you mean? Let me stop you right there. What do you mean had little junkyard bands? Describe that for somebody who may not understand. I know where you're coming from, but I mean, just let it be known.
We say, okay, we all know Barry Farms Junkyard Band, of course. That's the full name of Junk. It was originally Barry Farms Junkyard Band. And like everybody else in DC, when we saw them beating on bands and buckets, I think I was living in Wellington Park then. I had just started at Duke Ellington, where I first met you. So yeah, I was living in Wellington Park. And I remember we put together a little cans and bucket group in Wellington Park. Black Pooh, who wasn't with Junkyard then, this is interesting right here. He had another band called PC Groovers, which was Parkchester Groovers, right?
Okay.
They had a little junkyard band. They was right above the hill. Then we'd all meet down Savoy Elementary down on the avenue, and we had battle of the bands and all that. Every little neighborhood had a junkyard band because they was trying to come up. And not only that, and then eventually you evolved from playing on junk to saving your little summer job money or whatever you did to buy your congos, your drums, your bass, your lead, your keyboard, and feel your way through. I always was just wanted to be a microphone dude. You know, I guess coming from a theater background, I was just used to stage performing, up front line showmanship. And so Doc Hughes gave me my big shot. I was hanging out around, Doc Hughes, faces you know. And that's always Physical Wonders family, because Doc found me. I was down, it was on Southern Avenue, a spot where Mighty Groovers used to play. And I was, at that time, man, I was sharp, man. You could do a step on the front line. I watch it one time and I got it. You know what I mean? So that's how you could watch Mighty Groovers like that. You know, Cato, we come from, it's called choreography, you know. So I could pick up choreography like that, man. And So when I got to Physical Wonders, Doc gave me a shot, told me come down there. Myself, I'm gonna throw some other names in here. Blue Eye Darrell had a cousin who started with me the same night in Physical Wonders. I was on the front line. His cousin Star was on Congo. Star gassed out middle of the show. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Blue stepped in on Congos that very same night down Cherries, and thus we have the Blue Eye Darrell who we know today.
Right.
Okay. So, and at that time, you know, I came in as a two-mic. Actually, Doc gave me the shot to lead rap. Man, I was what, 16, whatever, 15. My timing was off, bro.
Your
timing was off.
What do you mean?
I couldn't come in on the one to save my life, man.
Really?
We used to do LL. I'm bad. Cool Ray. Cool Ray, get busy one. You know the music is dum 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 dum. Man, I couldn't find that one to save my life to come in, you know, and that was a running joke for a long time. Plus, I had a lot of other things going on with me too. That, you know, there was just Southeast DC life at that time, right? Which that type of lifestyle lived with me all through my years in Physical Wonders, all through my years of going to Baloo, and even after that. So, and I think you remember, you know, I got married the first time, my first marriage, man. You know, I was a young man, wasn't ready, and I was just out there. It was go-go was my life, you know. My mother wanted me to go to, you know, go away to school and everything. It was go-go for me. And so what had happened was, at the same time, I've always had a knack and finesse for Caribbean dialect, Caribbean music, everything that was just Caribbean. If you remember a show that used to come on called Fridays, like Saturday Night Live.
On you used to come on Channel 7. I remember Friday. Yeah.
And one of the first things I got noticed for was they had that character on there who used to, if you remember, man, he used to come on and he'd be like a chef cooking everything, right?
Yeah, I know what you're going to say. Go ahead. I remember that. Yes.
And the man would be frying chicken and he says, so today we're going to prepare chicken for you. Do we roast it? No, you know.
No, yeah.
Do we bake it? No. How do we season it? Do we use the ganja? Yeah.
I remember that joke.
So that was one of my first characters I took on, man. And then I went away. I was still in Physical Wonders. I went away. Now, this is really important, man. This is the real turning of Ras Lidj. I went away in 1989 to Trinidad for a few weeks. I went to Trinidad and Tobago. And, man, I tell you this, when I came back, Kato, I was sitting in the airport, Piarco Airport, and I cried, man, because I had never really wanted to come back here. I never saw a country before that was run by all black people. You know.
Okay.
No, nothing there. So my wife at that time was Trinidadian, so I was, you know, very connected to the West Indian culture right there.
Right.
Then I was also, around that time, I was at UDC, and I got introduced to the Rastafari elders. Now, these are elder Rastafari men, Ras Pedal, Ross Iris, Mikey, Bongo, Nana Farika. They all came here through the Smithsonian Institute. The Smithsonian brought them here from Jamaica to do an exhibit and talk about Rastafari. Well, I met them the first time at UDC. They were there to see Dr. Ivan Van Sertima and Ben Yosef. So through the times and clicking, I ended up at a studio, One World Studio downtown DC, where it was a reggae band, you know, rehearsing there. And I went to see them one night, and it just blew my mind, man, you know, to see these brothers. Now, here's the difference with the reggae brothers. They had the reggae band, Soul Defender Posse. You know how we play the clubs and we ain't making much money back in them days, Kato?
Oh, no doubt.
Them brothers used to get the money, man, and get paid from the gate. They all go back to the studio. And by the time they divvy it up and have a little few dollars a piece, one brother would go buy a can of this, another brother buy a can of that. some beans, some rice, some soup, and man, they all cooked together and ate out of one pot.
Okay.
That was the start of me seeing love and unity in a band, unbound like never before. I used to practice with 50 Physical Wonders. Everybody lived in Maryland. I lived in D.C. I had to practice, man. They leave me standing at the bus stop. I couldn't get a ride nowhere.
I remember them days too, Jack. Yeah,
You know what I mean? So,
Oh yeah.
like, when I got around the Soda Fender Posse and the whole reggae band right there, I learned love and respect and just a whole new culture like never before. Now, mind you, I had been through street wars where I lost 2 of my brothers in murder, you know, gunshot, and I later lost 2 of my brothers in sickness. So when people always saw this big smile that I always keep, man, you never know who's behind this smile. You know what I mean? There was a lot of things going on I probably was out in the world, you know, and I'm going to disclose this to you straight up. I probably was out in the world about to destroy myself, man, really in some really bad ways, you know. And I tell anybody this, it's the Rastafari way of life, the Rastafari principles and the Rastafari teachings that gave me like guidance, proper guidance to be a, you know, better myself. Just let me say that, just better myself. So at that point, once you know right from wrong, you can't go back to doing wrong. I didn't enjoy being a 2 mic because on the 2 mic, if a man say, yo, you know, hold your crotch and say F you to your mother, you got to repeat that, you know, because you the 2 mic. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't deal with that because for me, Rasta dealt with more positive speech, positive word sound, just like all reggae music you hear, most of it, the older stuff. It uplifts you. It encourages you. It has storylines. So I had to take on that moniker because my speech had to be true to myself, man. I couldn't follow the trend. So there I had to become a trendsetter. I ended up on the road with a touring Grammy-nominated reggae group. The same group I was with in D.C. got picked up to be the backing band for the legendary Itals. The Itals was a Grammy. The Itals out of Jamaica. They're a Grammy-nominated singing trio from Jamaica. And the group that I was with, the Soda Fender Posse, got picked up to be the backing band for them. So I got a chance to go on the road and tour the entire country. I wasn't on stage much. I was more like tour support road manager. Here it is though. A few shows in places, rural areas like Reno, Nevada, certain places we were St. Louis Obispo. I could get on stage as a percussionist and play congos. You know, on the certain shows they would let me play. Now where did I learn to play congos? Y'all never knew me as a congo player, right?
Right.
Come on, man. We all did this.
Oh, yeah.
And if you listen to reggae, that just fit in the pocket to me. Right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, so couple of different things. Like I said, I'm getting the spiritual awakening and the spiritual teachings. But I also, you know, of course I could speak, like people speak Spanish, people speak French, you know, and that's the language they talk when they're around, you know, French speaking people or, you know, people who speak, you know, Spanish. So that's me because you remember when we coming up, man, we used to always say, when people would talk like this, or we'll hear our parents change the tone of their voice like this when they picked up the phone and answered. And mom was just cussing you out like this a minute ago. You know what I mean? We always said, she talking white. Or, you know, I never wanted to talk white. You know, that was just something that we said. Somebody was talking white. And as we get older now, you know, you got to switch up and do what you got to do, you know.
Yeah, like a government worker.
So my thing, because I didn't want that. And when I used to speak that way, man, you know, for me, I think people would take you for bad or take you for soft because you use good diction. You know what I mean?
Right.
It just wasn't spoken. People would take you for soft. So I guess I adopted more to the broken English, the patois, the Caribbean dialect, and I became fluent in it. So, and then when you live in the bus, you know, a tour bus with, you know, 4 or 5 Jamaicans for 6 weeks going across the country, yeah, your voice started to change. But the funny thing was, here's where you know DC is respected out of the world.
I was going to ask you a question. Yeah, go ahead.
I was in California. No, we was on our way to California. And our schedule got messed up on tour. And I remember we couldn't stay at a hotel that night. We had to get right back on the bus and start driving again. So as the road manager, hear me. I'm not in my patois voice. I run back downstairs in the dressing room and I say, yo, man, look, y'all know we got to go. We got to get up out of here. We got to be up out of here. So look, let me get everything together. Let me get everything on the bus. We got to roll, man, because y'all know what it is, what we're doing.
Right.
There's one girl who was down there checking one of the singers. She turned and looked at me. Her eyes was wide open. She said, you're not Jamaican. You're from DC. Talk again. Talk again.
Wait a minute. How she peeped that? Well, you wasn't talking with the dialect, I guess.
I wasn't talking with the dialect. I just came down. If you hear me talk with the dialect, me with a good on tone, I mean with a talk like this and say, yo, Virgin, we have to move. Can't stay here, you know. I would have talked like that, but I didn't say that. I say, yo, man, you know, we got to go. We got to be up out of here. We got to get, look, man. We got to get to the next spot. I was on some straight Southeast dialect, man.
She peeped DC. And the reason I think that's funny, hold it here for a second, because it reminds me of places I've been, you know, and maybe in other countries and stuff like this, especially in the military, and how I was easily able to detect a person from DC because just hearing them talk.
Yeah.
So, you know, so I guess that's the experience that happened to you right there. All right, so what happened? Continue.
Yeah, so, okay, like I said, and then as a couple of shows, they would also let me on, they let me on to do what reggae calls DJ. But a DJ in reggae music, or especially dancehall, is the same thing what we call funk or Big G or Bugs.
Okay.
The mic. So Beanie Man is a DJ. Bound to Kill is what you call a DJ. These are guys who can hold the mic and just toast the mic over a band or over the record or whatever. And just like funk interact with the crowd. And, you know, the funny thing is learning about reggae, Kato, I had to study all that. The Rastafari elders made sure that I studied the greats, all of the greats, even before Shabba Ranks. You know, all the old time foundations. When I first hit around the Rasta community, you know, of course I could play Congo drum. Here was the elder who named me Ras Lidj. Ras Lidj came to me one day and said, yeah, I know you're a fine young man out there. You're doing this and you're doing that. You have all the girls, don't you? They like you. So, you know, I'm falling into this talk, but at the same time, remember, man, I was married and displaced out of my marriage when he asked me this. So I'm going along and I'm drawing everybody and I'm like, yeah, hear what he said to me. You know what Jah say about that? Jah is God, you know, Psalm 68, verse 4. He said, you know what Jah say about that? And the man opened up the scriptures and give me Proverbs 7 and 8 to read. It stumped me, right? I'm serious, Kato. I'm out of quoting scriptures the way I used to, because I think it's more important to live the scriptures than quote them. But I remember Proverbs 7 and 8 are talking about a young man in his folly and going out of straying away from his home and being dazzled or bedazzled by, you know, a woman in raiment and ornaments, and you being mesmerized by all these things. And the scripture kind of telling you, you being tricked. You know what I mean? That's the gist of what the scripture was saying. And a lot of things in that was so real to me, bro. It was so real that it just like opened me up. You know, I had repentance immediately for the things that I was doing. the things in life. So it made me draw closer to Ras. It made me want to know more of these teachings, more of these ways, you know. It made me no. So back on the road, I'm like I say, I play close
Hold
here and
that
there on the
thought.
show.
Hold
Huh?
that thought for a second. Hold that thought for a second. I just want to remind folks, if you just tuning in, right now to the one-on-one with Kato Hammond, I have a guest on here today, my man Ras Lidj, the creator of the REGGGO movement, and we just going through his journey. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and post your questions, and I'll ask the questions as we go along with here. But I want Ras to continue with this journey because we're finding out here where all the roots come from for him to first pick up the journey that he picked up, and as he continued to bring it along forward, and for our entertainment pleasure. But we're hearing the story of how it all came about and how his vision for REGGGO came about. So any questions, just hit us up. Look like, wait a minute, let me see some. We got here. Like my man Cole. What is Cole? Ras? Now I don't think Ras, because you still can't see, can you?
I still can't see, but
okay.
I want to.
Well, it looks like my man Cole had made a comment in here, basically going between his southeastern Jamaican accent. So he just kind of sitting back, listening to you go back and forth. He loving that. You know what I'm saying?
That's cool because hey Cole, big up yourself, man. You know where we come from, huh? Yeah. Cole, you know, we come from Q, man, Children Urban Arts Ensemble. You Southeast Q, man. We used to, you know, that's a whole different story, Kato. We used to have to pick Cole up, man, and drive him to rehearsal with us and bring him back home. Our parents was linked like that, you know, because that's the thing, man. Our parents, them in them days there, they made sure we made it to rehearsals and gave us something to do to keep us out and away from the hood, you know. I probably was rebelling against my mother when I joined the Go-Go band because my mother wanted me to stay in theater very much, stay in dance and artists, and I just didn't want to do theater no more. So when I got in Go-Go and she found out, well, I was still on stage and performing, she said, well, he's still doing something constructive, so she allowed it. But she said with my talent that I would be wasting my time there because I could go much further with my talent, you know, and that's just moms, man. You know,
but picking up where we left off, yeah.
As a Congo player, picking up where I left off, as a Congo player, you know, or percussionist, sitting there with the reggae groups and the reggae bands, you know, whenever they gave it to me, you know what beat I knew how to play. If I ain't know nothing else, I knew the one-on-one and I knew how to smack a pocket.
Now, how did they react to that? How did they react to that for the first time? Can you tell me, you remember the first time?
You know, it was hard, Kato, because in that community, man, I'm going to just say it straight up. If you're not actually a Jamaican, it don't matter what you do. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's like, you know what I mean? So that became part of my burning passion because with REGGGO, I not only had to show us here in America that, look, let's end this division in black of if you come from Africa, if you come from Jamaica, if you come from Trinidad, if you come from, you're black. You know what I mean?
Right.
We all one. So this is in the fabric of REGGGO. The same thing with, you know, my Jamaican and Caribbean people. And this goes down a whole nother road, but it's quick to say, yo, Yankee, or, you know, you come from America, so you don't know, or this or that. But you here seeking the same opportunity that we seek in the same way. So let's have this separatism and division. And music is the one thing out of all these conversations that we can have about separation and division, music is the one thing that can make us all one. You know what I mean?
No doubt about it. That's universal, Chad.
So it's like by me accepting the Rasta culture, the Rasta way of life. You know, like I said, when I went to Nyabingi is more the churchical style of Rasta, where first of all, in Rasta, we don't have like a preacher who talk to you and don't talk back. We sit down and go back and forth like me and you do now. We read the Bible, we do what we call reason. You know what I mean? You might read the Psalms, I might read the Psalms, next person in the room read the Psalms. We reason and we discuss it. There's no, you know what I mean? And then there's African traditional drum playing, you know, which is, it plays right, left, do good. That's Nyabingi. You got a bass drum, boom. It just plays a heartbeat. That's what if you ever seen the movie Rockers, that's how it come on in the beginning. Rockers is an old Jamaican. That's how it come on with Nyabingi. You know what I mean? So Nyabingi is like the Rasta churchical chant. We're at the foundation of, you know, reasoning and talking and everything. So when, instead of me going in there playing, you know, our Congo style all the time, I was brought down to just Nyabingi. You know what I mean?
Well, give me that pattern again. The pattern.
It's just right left, do good. And you want to put your right hand down first, right? You don't put the left hand down first. You know why? Because anytime you leave right, anytime you left right, you're going wrong. Don't never leave the right because you're going to go wrong. So you put it on your right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
That's how Rasta talk, man. Everything Rasta talk about, we always have some type of reasoning where it's upliftment or it makes sense. So here comes the struggle with me now with REGGGO. Coming back to the DC side.
Yes, let's hear that.
A lot of people want to say, hey, Ray, you gone, man. You too far in, man. You don't know yourself. Or, you know, just like when we used to get down, you remember when you was with Benny, I used to meet y'all down there and come. Benny used to let me do a little reggae on stage over there at the Metro, you know. We coming back, and it's funny to me. We had fun doing the Cato, but everything is joning and nonsense talk. You see what I mean? Nothing, bro. But when I come over to the roots and culture side, all right, when I used to try to play music in Physical Wonder, man will tell you, man, you don't play bass, you don't play keyboards, you don't play this. Put that down. Go ahead back up front. Worry about what you're doing up front. When I came in REGGGO, the first thing they asked me, you got, okay, you can rap, but the first thing you got to do is learn how to rap in key. Okay. You got any songs written? I said, I got some. No, you need more than some. Write every day. You need songs every day.
Okay. Okay.
Then this man immediately taught me a keyboard scale, how to form a chord. I couldn't get good on guitar, so I picked up bass guitar and learned all my notes and scale on bass. You know. Yeah. And so the whole, I was being re-educated all over again. And taught these things. Now, you know that pocket beat was never going to leave me, right?
Right.
Because a leopard can't change its spots, man. You just are who you are.
You better believe it.
The more I got deeper into reggae, I could hear the spacing in the music where I always heard, I could always hear that in the music. Maybe it's just me. In any reggae, I could always hear it. So when I got a chance to play, I would play that. And because that sister said that to me in California, I remember coming home and tour was a good experience, but it was a rough experience for me. Okay. And I said, I'll never go on tour again unless it's my tour, unless I'm on my tour.
Okay, hold that thought. Hold that thought. Shout going out to Matt Swap Guinea. He's Ross. I don't think Ross can see the screen, so just letting him know that Matt gave him a shout out. He loving what you the conversation and the knowledge that you spit now to our folks. While I'm on, I want to say congratulations to my man Matt, because I saw that he got nominated for Whammy. So shout going out to Matt. But so go ahead and give you that, huh?
I'm gonna say one thing to Swamp Guinea. And he know this should have been on his album. Swamp Guinea, forward ever, backwards never.
My man.
He's a brother. We were sitting down writing, and I wrote that hook for him, but he got so busy in his album, you know. We put it on the next one, but I wrote that hook for him. Yeah, for whatever. But congratulations to you, Swamp Ganny. I'm real proud of you, man. I'm real proud of the road that you're on. Keep it up. Keep up the good work.
Man, yeah, we hitting the climax part, right? You get to the good stuff that I wanted to ask you about. The whole, we're getting to where, you know, you decided to step out on faith, I'm gonna say.
Yes.
Let's go.
It's a couple of times, you know, I was out of Physical Wonders. I was back in Physical Wonders. I was out, and I remember, man, I went back one time and I had to do a Tupac lyric, and of course I could learn the song, but I was so rooted in Rastafari. This lyric just burned me, and it said, "I ain't no killer, but don't push me. Revenge is like the sweetest joy next to getting." You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
And I was just like, but that's not who I am, you know. So it forced me to write more. And my first co-songwriter was playing guitar on Physical Wonders at that time. He would go home and he had a whole computer hook up in his house. So when I write a song and I bring it to Fizz or bring the hook to Fizz, he'll bring it back to me and say, "This is what you want right here." Hence, one of my first releases was called The Ghetto Click. I put out The Ghetto Click. And I had to keep it to the streets. I put out The Ghetto Click. I wrote another song called Put Jah First. Everything you do, you know, some say God, Muslims say Allah, witness say Jehovah, Rasta say Jah. Anyhow you call his name, there's only one God. My whole thing is put the Almighty first. And any and everything you do, put him first. So that was me stepping out on a culture song. Another thing I went through that really forced me to write a song that, boy, if I was hungry, somebody could have bought this song from me one time because I was desperately hungry. And a friend of mine, Joe Straw, said, "Never sell that song, man." He says, "A good song." But I wrote a song one time called "Son of a One Night Stand." And
I remember that one. I remember that one. Yeah.
Let me tell you, we were all men as Rasta reasoning, sitting in the reasoning with some Rastafari elders. And you know, men talk about their kids, they talk about their children, and I let out talking about my father, my biological father, who, you know, I can't tell you much about him. Don't know nothing about him, never seen him. My biological father, right?
Okay.
So I started out speaking in that manner about my father, and the elders told me one thing. They said, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa. Listen to me." And they say, "Hear this. If your father never did nothing else for you in life, he planted the seed that made you. You're here now. The rest of your life, what you do with your life is up to you." So we're not into that talk about your father not this, your father not that. You understand?
Right.
Your father planted the seed that made you. If he never did nothing else, that's what he did. Be grateful for the life you have. And you see that? So I can't really say I was a son of a one night stand, but because that was my situation and not knowing my dad, it prompted me to use that hook like that and write that song.
Okay.
You know, so everything now, Kato, had to be about upliftment for myself, upliftment for our culture and our people, not just go-go culture, but black on a whole. Because in my coming in and going out every day, one thing I noticed, man, and I'll never be able to change this the rest of my life, I'm black. And you know what I'm saying? And we can say, maybe we here in America or in the Washington, D.C. area in particular, we pretty fortunate, man, to compare to other places around in other third world countries. But what about those who can't make it out? What about those who still suffering? Do we just think of ourselves, or do we reach and lend a helping hand? Do we bridge the gap? You know what I mean? In knowledge. And so in my walks and in my ways, man, I get to know Africans. I get to know you know, people of all kind of diaspora, and I just start connecting with them musically, and I'm not transparent, man. You know what I mean? I'm very transparent. Let me say, when it comes to the stage, that's where I live. You know, that's the freest place in the world to me is being on stage. So I'm very open, and whatever I'm going through, whatever I'm thinking, whatever I'm writing about, I put it on stage. I know how to make you have fun. I know how to make you dance to it. Oh, right. Believe it. And because let me tell you something, man, the blessing in being from DC. If you ever watch Chuck Brown and James Funk in particular, then Little Benny and then Bugs, man, we have a savvy of communicating like nobody else. We just, you know, and I tell people today, at my age, I still study them men because it's a talk style. It's a talk style, man. And if you got the right words to say, if you got the right knowledge, you can go anywhere in the world and be able to do what Funk do and just greet a group of Africans and speak to them, say, yeah, well, I can relate to what's going on to you now, Ghana. Y'all just hold tight, you hear me? All over Africa. We see Asia coming in there and trying to rebuild and redevelop Africa, but guess what, baby? Africa gonna be Africa. We strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you just tuning in, you tuned into the one-on-one with Kato Hammond. I'm Kato. And the special guest right here is my man Ras Lidj, and we going through the journey of Ras's journey. Any questions you may have, just post them up. I'm not sure if Ras can see, but if he can't see, I can see. Either way, just post your questions or anything you may have for Ras as you're listening to him tell his journey. And please continue, my man. I want to ask this. And coming into this create. Well, no, we didn't get to it yet. I want to get to the whole creating thing of, because I want to know the kind of road that you were on, where it seems like I want to know, were you having problems on both sides of trying to be accepted fully? Because you got on this side, you got the reggae on this side, and that's creating a whole new movement. And I wanted to know, or you explain to me so far, and I know the journey continues, but how basically has it been on both sides? Has it been a struggle, or has it been a pleasant whatever? You know,
a hard struggle, you know, and I don't say that because I want sympathy. I just got to take some of the instances, man. Like, you remember, like you say, I came out and I put out my first couple of singles, the Ghetto Click, Tour Bus, Son of a One Night Stand. Well, like everybody else in Go-Go, I was running to Rio at that time. Because Rio...
You was recording at Rio's job?
I didn't record it at Rio, but you remember one time Rio had a lick where he was putting a lot of people on. Yeah, or he knew how to move you or get you out there.
Right.
And Rio said to me one time, said, man, I love what you're doing. I just don't know how to market you. You know?
Okay.
And then going over to the Go-Go side is like, at that time, we talking 90s. Yeah. DC was very black, but still very divided culturally. And, you know, it's only really like we true Washingtonians who really hold Go-Go up straight. You know what I mean? And then you got your people in the suburbs who mess with Go-Go. But if you come from a foreign country, they ain't hearing no Go-Go. And first of all, when you say Go-Go, especially to a Jamaican, the first thing they think about is strip dancing.
Still? To this day, still? Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm on my way back to Jamaica this week coming up, but when I was there last year for Rebel Salute, they couldn't believe I was from here. But I was talking to the little DJ in the hotel while I was saying, and I said, you know, Go-Go? And he looked at me funny because, you know, Rasta man is like a spiritual man, and Rasta don't deal with certain negativity or sadness. So when I said, you know about Go-Go, the man looked at me funny like, what does Ras want with some Go-Go? And the other guy that worked at the hotel, he knew. He said, nah, man, he not talking about what you thinking. He said in DC, they got a music called go-go. He said, like, we have reggae here. He said, that's their music up there. So, you know, I was explaining REGGGO to them. So a lot of people, man, in the beginning, they would always, man, you sure you want to deal with the go-go thing? Because, you know, even this was what the Caribbean people would say to me. You know, the go-go, it have a kind of negative thing around it, you know. It looked like bad. And some of my friends still think today that we still infested with like Love Boat and that kind of thing. That's what they associate with the go-go, the whole negative black eye. So I had to put that on my back and say, no, we not that. It's not what you see. And guess what?
What's that?
With me putting that on my back, I didn't have a Ray Essence with me to help me. I didn't have a, you know, faces, you know, familiar face. Well, I can't say that about faces, you know. I didn't have familiar faces or anybody to really, we wasn't there all in the team together like Go-Go came together to say to them people like, look, man, you know? So
Yeah.
it was just me one alone out there trying to push my agenda. And my thing had to push because although more time, and I'm going to get into a little patois, Kato, I know you can't really understand me. So if you don't understand me, ask me. But more time, when I'm there around Caribbean people, 90% of the time, my brethren, you hear me talk like this. I really don't speak English that much anymore, you know. A pure patois, even in my house when I'm there with my wife, you know. She have to come back and tell me, say, come back, man. Because when I'm with my wife, I saw me talk more time, for real. 100% full time, you know. And that's just me.
Right.
So a lot of times though, because that Caribbean people may not fully see me as America or being from DC or this, so they might ask me, why this go thing? And I had to break it down like, yo, man, for real, I'm really from Southeast. I really am. You know what I mean? And, you know, like y'all grew up on it. This is what I grew up on. You know, at the end of this interview, I got a big surprise to tell you about that too. But go ahead. You got another question?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm sitting here thinking and I'm saying it's real interesting to see how you develop a passion for this. You know what I'm saying? But you never let go the go-go thing. That's what's on this real wicked, because even though you fell in love and you adopted this, you still carried your realness, and you didn't become this and ignore where you from. You basically blending them together. You saying this is me and this is me. You know what I'm saying? And I guess I'm just assuming that's why the direction you going with the music, because you love them both, really, basically.
Yeah, I
wrong.
would say this. No, you're not wrong, and I would say this like I say, I live my life on stage, man, and I live, you know. People see me recently. I just got what they consider to be a career because I wake up and go to work for 8 hours a day every day.
Right.
I just went to school at a late age in my middle 40s and finished school and started all of that then. But, you know, before that, I lived my life for, you know, the next gig, the next opportunity to be able to go on the road. So I would just work odds and end jobs until the next musical opportunity came available for me to step out and go do what I do. You know, I can never, like, if I would have stayed go-go, the Rasta Ray that people knew, even before you put Rasta in front of Ray, you know, if I would have stayed that person, Kato, you know, and I some people like to talk about their dark side. It's hard for me to talk about the dark side, bro. It really is. You know, there's a lot of hurt and a lot of pain there. And I can tell you, had it not been for Rasta, this reggae movement, I can tell you I'd have been in a box 6 feet under, because I lived a very, very careless and carefree life. And then, you know, at the times when I lost my brothers, man, I just threw in the towel, you know, but and with me understanding like Rasta and Rastafari and being given a name by the elders, Ras Lidj, it gave me a whole new life. It let me know, say, look, no matter what your brothers did or what anybody did or what your circumstances were or where you came from, God really put me in this flesh, in this earth, man, and embodied me with one thing, and that's talent to be an entertainer. And no matter what I got into in darkness, he always made that light and that path for me. And at this particular time, when I was really back against the wall, probably dug my own grave, and all they had to do was throw the dirt on me, reggae music, Rasta way of life was that beacon, that little inkling of light and all that darkness around me for me to get out through. Okay. So because of that, I'm very loyal to Rasta, I'm very loyal to reggae, but I'm also will always be, you know, from Southeast, Ras Lidj, you know what I mean? With a pocket beat. When I go to Africa, it's gonna be a pocket beat in my back pocket. That's just it. You know, so I had to keep the two now. And you asked me about being hard. Here's the thing that's being hard. When you make a move like this, Kato, and you do this, your family, your friends, all the people who you're around, they never understand you, where you going, what you doing. You know what I mean? I remember for years, more than a decade, people, oh, that nigga just want to smoke weed.
Wow.
That's all he want to do. No. Right. Now they see the success stories. My mom used to clown me until she saw checks coming in from the universities to the house where I was playing the gigs. It got serious then. Willie Wilson started letting me play in the basement of Union Temple Church. It got serious then. You know what I mean? Then they want to start paying attention. So I would say this to anybody, man. Whatever the Creator give you and giving you, if you know it inside yourself, man, whatever. What's that thing we used to say, Kato? What happened to a dream deferred?
Yep. Does it like a raisin?
Stick to what you do. Stick to who you are. Stick to what you truly believe in the thing that carry you. I don't care at any age you are, man. Anybody, if you got ears and you can hear this, you know, if you got eyes and you can see, believe me when I tell you, stick to your goals, your dreams, and your ambitions, especially if they're in goodness. Never let go. And then, you know, I'm not going to boost you, Kato. This is not to boost you, but I've been blessed to have friends like yourself, man, that help make me responsible, because every time I look at a friend of mine like you always up. Just like you say about me, you creating, you inventing.
Yeah.
I keep myself surrounded with a kind of company that is productive and always producing. So when I got REGGGO now, I say, you know, God gave it to me as a blessing. I dreamed that I never let go of the dream that I would be a big entertainer someday, or an effective entertainer someday. You don't know when it's going to happen. I just go through and keep doing it. And I don't count the days or the years. I just know I can't stop. And man, I don't know, when I get really emotional when I talk like that, man, but it's a serious thing when you say, like, what makes me keep doing it is I'm not out there for show, like I say, is a movement, as you put it, on the T-Mont, you know, on T-Mont, on the news page. It's a movement, because I said this, and check this out. I'm trying not to get too long-winded, but one time, and people not going to believe this, somebody going to want to dispute it, but it can't be disputed because it was recorded. One time when the Go-Go's was being shut down all around D.C., and we would have these meetings. We had the Go-Go Coalition, and we'd have these meetings. What to do to save Go-Go? The last time it happened in PG County, when PG put a lock on all the doors and said everybody need license and this for this, that, and the other. So we had this big meeting down at Union Temple Church. Easy Street was on the radio with it, and Big G was on the panel. Diallo, a whole bunch of other people was on the panel. I was the last person to speak. I spoke behind KK, Chuck's daughter. And they, you know, Easy Street say, hurry up and talk, man. I said then in that meeting, I said, look, all of y'all worrying about a place to play around here. And y'all, as many as band as you want, we don't have a lot of places to play. But let me say something to y'all, man. When I started this years ago, people laughed at me. Oh, reggae and go-go, not gonna work. Now you have white reggae bands playing reggae and go-go. Okay? And I said, if I was just playing go-go a long time ago, I'd have stopped. Just reggae, I would have stopped. But reggae is a mission, is a gift. And it's always been my dream. And I said this a long time ago. I said, if it don't work for me, I'm going to share with y'all what my vision is, because if I don't make it, maybe one of y'all will, okay? My vision has always been the first to carry go-go home to Africa where it belongs. That's what I said. Then, lo and behold, 2-3 years later, backyard gone to Africa. I was so glad to see it. I was elated to see that, man. You know what I mean? Very happy. And they don't have a clue what kind of seeds they planted in the ground down there. I can tell you, because I'm connected with African communities in DC and in Africa. Backyard don't have a clue what kind of seed they planted. Let me tell you this. Backyard went to Ghana. Africa has 52 countries. We have 50 states. The continent of Africa has 52 countries. Backyard went to West Africa, Ghana. I was in a party here in DC with people from East Africa, Uganda. And they told me that night when the DJ played this one song, he said, I'm gonna play this song for y'all. It's the #1 song being played in Uganda right now. And when he put it on, I couldn't believe it.
It was Backyard.
Backyard.
Wow.
You see how powerful we are, man?
Yeah.
If we can get together, if we can unify, if we can do things properly and stop chopping ourselves down. You see how powerful we can really be, man? Yeah. So this is why you see Ras Lidj, Kato, never give up. Because I've seen artists from Caribbean countries, no matter their age, and think about this. When I'm talking about Jamaica or Trinidad, these are islands, man. This is a rock in the middle of an ocean. Can you imagine what you got to do to get off a rock in the middle of the ocean to make it out abroad and go far? This is the kind of mentality we got to have. So sometimes, no discredit to go-go, you see me stay off the websites with go-go people. You see me, as bad as I want to, I can't even play in go-go clubs right now because I'm trying to build a gap to the mentality, and it's like, go-go people still like, hey, Belladonna, my band. That's all we care about. You know, big shout out to Belladonna, Women History Month. Love you, ladies.
Yes,
you know, but I just use them, their name as an example, you know, but people, you know how we operate. We love who we love, and we want to fight and kick down everybody else.
Yeah,
when I go to a reggae show,
I know exactly.
For instance, I go to a show in Jamaica. The show starts 8 o'clock at night, won't end to 9, 10 o'clock the next morning. And I'm talking about so many artists which you can't imagine perform. You just love them and like them all. What's wrong with loving Red Essence, EU, Chuck? Okay, this is about me. Okay, I ain't gonna go on that tangent. What else you want to know, man?
I mean, because I think all this is important. So
I lost your sound. I lost your audio. What happened?
You can't hear me?
Oh snap!
You lost me?
Hold on, I'm trying something. It seemed like my audio went.
Uh-oh. What happened? He did something.
It did. Do you hear me?
I hear you. Yes, I hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you vaguely. It's like I had the speakerphone on earlier.
Yeah.
And I don't know where it went to.
Oh, wow. Okay, I tell you what.
But anyway, can you hear me? Talking, because I'm operating off 2 phones here.
Okay. What I want to do is, because I guess gonna be wrapping up real soon anyway. I want to get into what's coming up with Ras. And I know it's some singles coming out that we talked about earlier. And I want to get to, and then I want to talk about your trip that's coming up too. You know, if you want to share that, I would like for you to share that as well.
You want to talk about what?
I want to talk about what you have coming up, and I want you to tell us about the trip that you have coming up as well.
Okay, cool, nice. Okay, so what's coming up for Ras Lidj? I've always shared this with you, Kato. I've been playing and I've been playing a lot of shows, getting booked, and that's all gravy, that's fine. But I noticed I haven't recorded in almost 10 years. So you can still hear me good?
Perfect. Let's go.
Okay. I haven't recorded in almost 10 years. And so it's important that you have some recordings to play off of, to present out there in front of you. So I've been spending the last I'd say 6 months or so doing a lot of heavy recording for myself. And this is my saying to you, I want to record so much music now more than playing. I want to be, so whenever God do take me off of this earth, man, I have enough music like that they can play me all day like they do Biggie Smalls every year on the celebration of his birthday or whatever. I want to have enough music where they can play me all day like that. So I've been doing a lot of recording. I did, of course, y'all have heard Night Nurse. Y'all have heard the Rastafari Way. I've done, I've got another great song coming out called, now here's what I do. I told you earlier about when I say Naya Bingi, you play right, left. You don't leave right and go wrong, right?
Right on.
Check this. So Sugar Bear's a lot of great stuff, but I find out I have to correct the language. So Sugar Bear says, all to the left. I can't go to the left. My focus is to the east, Africa.
Right.
So I wrote a song called All to the East. Big new song. Waiting to release all to. Sugar Bear also says, shake it like a white girl. Let me ask you this. You ever seen an African woman shake?
Me personally? No. I mean,
shake it like an African.
Okay.
So Ras Lidj coming go-go to correct some of the things that are wrong here, y'all. Y'all know that, you know. I gotta stay hard and true to it. So yeah, I got new music coming out. I have All to the East coming out. I'm re-releasing Son of a One Night Stand. Harmony Black is I'm producing a Christmas song for her. We're working on right now. And I got another one that I'm really happy about. When I go, first I was going to Jamaica because Buju Banton, if y'all don't know, who don't know Buju Banton, but Buju Banton is my favorite artist, and a lot of people who know me know my reggae style is, or my way I chat is chat on the mic is patterned a lot off of Buju Banton and Shabba Ranks, you know. Hey, this one is called Lover's Choice. Never know you would really feel so nice, Love Sponge. I don't want, anyway. Buju Banton just got released, man, so he's back in Jamaica. He can't come to the U.S. to do shows right now. So this is his first show after doing 9 years in the U.S. Prison. And his first show is in Jamaica, Saturday, March 16th at National Stadium. You know, I'm carrying the wife, Harmony Black, there. But that is the icing on the cake to be able to go see the Buju show. Okay. The bigger reason why I'm in Jamaica, well, I made it all a part of the trip. I'm going to Jamaica to do something I always wanted to do, man. I'm getting a chance to record live in Jamaica, because if you want that authentic reggae sound, just like in go-go, if they want that authentic go-go sound, they got to get it here. You can't get it nowhere else. So for me to get the authentic reggae sound, I'm going down there in Lincoln with Flabber Hope from Roots Radix. He carried me to a big studio down there, and we're going to finish. And I'm going to just tell you, oh, you want to know who I'm carrying to Jamaica with me?
Who?
Y'all going to think I'm lying. I wish I could show you. I'm carrying Mighty Mo to Jamaica with me, man.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Mighty Mo. Okay. Okay.
Well, it's not exactly how you think I'm carrying Mighty Mo. I've got Mighty Mo inside of a device that's smaller than this. It's called a SSD hard drive. Me and Mighty Mo went down there in the studio last week because I needed Jamaica to know what our percussion sound like when I get down there and record. I had to take a Congo player with me. So we went in the studio, and remember I told you about Nabingi beat, right?
Yeah.
This is the root behind this song. I'm mixing my Nabingi with my go-go, right?
Okay. Yeah,
and it's gonna be a straight African style thing, man, that I'm putting down. Straight African style. And Mighty Mo killed the lick. So when I walk in the studio, you know what I mean, with that SSD drive and they plug it in and they hear that Congo playing, yeah. Would you tell me, Kato, I gotta keep it true?
There it is. That's true and blue, for real.
So the Friday I leave out, Wednesday coming, going to Jamaica. I'm gonna sit down when I get there in my hotel, relax, finish writing my lyrics to the song. That's Wednesday and Thursday. Friday I go into Kingston. I get my studio time in Kingston on Friday, and then Saturday the 16th is all about the big show with the big man himself, Buju Banton, man. And then when I leave the Buju show, I'm going back in the Archeries to a place to visit when I go down there, and they always let me on the mic, Ocean's 11. I'll go down Ocean's 11 on Sunday and touch the mic while I'm in there and I got my own rhythm, so now I can play my own rhythm. Before I was down there, Buju was locked away in prison, so I was doing Buju Banton songs down there, and the crowd would just love me. I got it on my website. People used to, and they do a thing called, we call it wheel it up or pull up. You see, when you come out, Kato, and you do songs nice, you know, like I might come out and do a Buju song, and I might say, these lyrics belong to Buju Banton in case on Facebook, I don't own the right to these lyrics. These are Buju Banton lyrics. But I might come out and say, driver, don't stop it all. Drop this. And you see, when you're in the club and you come out and you sound like that and you do that, pull up, wheel. You got to pull the music back up and you got to start again. That means they like you, man. That's called giving you a forward. You know what I mean? So when I'm down there and I get on the mic, I get enough forward, brethren. You hear me? The people, them just love me. Them love the reggae style. I mean, now stop it.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Cool. Well, once
So
again,
that's what's going on now. The funny thing is, can I put a shameless tag out there?
You better.
Let me put a shameless plug out there, man. REGGGO music, roots rock, reggae dancehall link with a DC go-go beat. It's real, it's cultural, it's uplifting, it's energetic, it's entertaining. Enough of y'all promoters out there. I know y'all say y'all don't mess with reggae, or some of y'all say y'all don't mess with go-go. You'll love Ras Lidj, man. You know what I mean? Book me. I can open for any of your bands, or I can headline your shows. Been doing it for years. Right now, you don't see me enough. Don't call me and ask me where I play, because I don't deal with a lot of clubs, because I've been blessed. As long as I've been doing this, I didn't have to have my survival on the go-go circuit night after night in the clubs where I have to wait for the promoter to tell me he got to pay the sound man first. He got to pay the DJ first, entertainer. You know, no, I'm a professional artist. I like my check or my Cash App or my Square Reader, however you want to pay me. You know what I mean? I come in, I do my work, I do it well. I've never had a fight or any incident in any of my shows. I come in, I do my work well, and I leave. I would love all of you promoters out there. I would love to be back with my go-go family again, doing shows with, like I said, Belladonna, Faces, you know, any of them, man. Vibe, you know, certain bands I know I'd be a good fit with. Proper Utensils, I know what I do would be a good fit. And what you as a promoter do not have to worry about is me trying to play the same music as your headlining act. I got my own show, my own sound, my own music. You promoters, don't be afraid to open the door to your audience to something new, man. Because say what you want about it, you may not understand it, but listen to me. REGGGO music from the capital, not of your state, but of your country. Keep it district.
Yeah, man. I hear you. Peace and love, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate you taking the time to rap with us, and keep doing what you're doing, man, and keep us informed. Oh, the biggest thing, I hope you better be able to hear me. Footage. You going out to Jamaica, you're gonna be providing footage, right? We get to see real footage in this day of technology, right? Huh? Is he there? I think he may be gone. Yeah, he done froze up on me. We gonna get footage for him, ladies and gentlemen. Want to thank you for tuning in to the one-on-one featuring Kato Hammond, and there's gonna be more that's coming. This is the first coming from this. I call this the virtual format. This is the virtual format of the one-on-one with Kato Hammond. Thanks for tuning in. You can always tune in. Be my friend. I'm gonna leave you with a little words of Chuck Brown. You know what I'm saying? You know, you be surprised at the things you can do. You got peace and love inside of you. Show you right.